You, higher mammal.
Go watch Fired on Mars on Max. It is an adult animated comedy that is extremely relatable to the working class citizen, and it is absolutely fantastic and might leave you with a few existential crises that I haven't felt since I watched BoJack Horseman. Now, if none of that interests you, I will go a little bit deeper into what the plot of Fired on Mars is if you're skeptical of my opinion and you don't feel like trusting me. So I get it. It hurts a bit, but let's move on. So, Fired on Mars is the story of Jeff Cooper. He is a graphic designer who was a part of a Mars colonization initiative. They formed a little civilization on Mars where people are working their day-to-day lives to function and create this colony for, greater expansion in the future and stuff like that. However, the problem is the corporate people in charge of this initiative decide that Jeff is no longer needed, that they don't need a graphic designer on Mars, so they fire him. But the problem is they're not sending him home because obviously that's ridiculously expensive and absolutely absurd. So he's kind of just stuck on Mars with nothing to do. He has no job, no purpose anymore. He left his girlfriend and family back home, so he has literally nothing anymore, and he's just trying to figure out his place in the world now, or universe for that matter, and he just doesn't know what to do. That's the core premise of Fired on Mars. From that core premise, it expands greatly, and I was not expecting the show to go in many of the directions that it went. Like, by the end of the second episode, I had no idea where the show was going to go. Like, I told you everything I knew about the show when I started it, and I was just like, okay, yeah, episode 1, cool. This is really good, well written. I'm connecting with the characters on like a deep emotional level. Very good. Then by the time I hit the end of episode 2, I was like, wait a minute. Did that just happen? What are you gonna do from here? I don't understand. What exactly is the story gonna do? And then it just kept doing that every single episode. I felt like I got a grasp on where things were gonna go, and then characters would say or do something, or something that I wasn't expecting would happen, and then I just be like, I don't know what's going to go happen. Well, I
Have you ever had a dreams that you had you
I don't know anymore. I don't know anymore. And the show just kept me on that emotional roller coaster throughout all 8 episodes. Now, as of right now, Fire on Mars is not confirmed for a second season. I hope it gets another one because I think the show is very good and I think they could go places with a second season. However, if it doesn't and it ends up being canceled, I do believe that the series has a satisfactory conclusion that will leave you like, okay, you know what? That's a good ending. If it doesn't continue, obviously, I very much like it to continue because I can definitely see like little plot threads that they can stretch out for another season. And then everything else is kind of an unknown randomized box that I'll be like, oh snap, I wasn't expecting you to do this. So that's Fire on Mars. Personally, I was put onto the show by my good buddy T. You know who you are, and Hats Off Media. I watched his excellent video reviewing and ranking every single HBO animated series. I will leave the link down to his video in the description if you want to check it out for yourself. I highly recommend it. It was fantastic. Now, that being said, I'm going to go and contemplate my place in the universe now after watching Fired on Mars. And last but most certainly not least, I'm the innocent villain. Remember, folks, you're innocent until proven villainous, and if you get fired, make sure it's on Earth.